Hello everyone, my name is Art Russell. Welcome to my channel. The title of this video is definitely a spoiler alert because I am going to speak about certainty, faith, and belief. But I'm also going to share some information related to the perspective from which we practice all three. It makes a tremendous difference in the results that we experience. I hope that you'll watch this video through to the end to derive as much benefit from its content as possible. So let's begin. I'm going to start by reading a passage from this book entitled A Happy Pocketful of Money by David Cameron Giocondi. He's obviously an author, an esoteric information curator, and he was the creative consultant on the movie entitled The Secret. Here's the passage. Have faith, believe, know with certainty. When you pick up a glass of water to drink from it, you know without a shred of doubt that you will pick it up and drink it. The thought does not even occur to you that you may not be able to drink the water. You do it with certainty. That is the level of faith, belief, and certainty you should have in yourself, in the laws of the universe, and in the capabilities of the source to work perfectly all the time. It is the certainty you should have about your having received even before you asked, and in the guarantee that you have it all. Now I'm going to follow this up with a quote from the Bible, from Mark 11, chapter 24. Therefore, I say unto you, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Now, when most beings hear that passage that I just read, they interpret it from the perspective of the person, because that's what they've been conditioned to believe that they are. So logically, their minds may be filled with doubt. Some examples. As far as health, someone may say, believe that I have the cure or that I'm healed, but I've had this physical or mental issue for so long. It's been years now. With wealth, they may say, sure, claim that I have the $1 million or more than enough funds to pay my bills, but you don't know my situation. I've struggled for years. My spouse and I barely get by. We can barely feed our children. And as far as relationships, we might think, but we're estranged. Our family members are estranged. It's been that way for years. Something got said, and then it got repeated and taken out of context. And these, I want you to know, are understandable positions. What I'm asking you to do in this video is to question your assumptions about being the person. You heard that correctly. about being the person. Is that actually true? Or could there be some confusion that's been practiced for so long that you accept it as being true? One of the easiest ways for me to bring this into question in your mind is to draw your attention to the similarities between the dream state dream and waking state reality. In a dream state dream, there is time. The dream itself may even take weeks, could even be years. But we know that all of that time took place within minutes. So, is it truly foundational in the dream state dream? The same of space, objects and persons, events and doership. In a dream state dream, we 100% believe in the events that are occurring while they're happening. And we believe that we are the doer. But when we merge once again with waking state reality, if we look back at the dream, we can question, oh, of course I couldn't have been the doer. The mind asleep dreamt the character that I believed myself to be during the dream. And what I'm stating is that in this waking state reality, infinite living mind or consciousness or awareness is dreaming the events that take place, and that we are not in fact the person that we assume ourselves to be. I'd like to back this up with a quote that I've mentioned before. It's from a book entitled The Law of Success by Paramahansa Yogananda. He brought meditation and Kriya Yoga to the West, and he was famous for writing other books, including Autobiography of a Yogi. Here's the short quote. Mind is the creator of everything. Now, he was not referring just to events that take place within dream state dreams, and that the world, the apparent world that we experience, has independent existence. He was including the apparent world and all apparent 8 billion persons at present count. Does that not sound like a dream? Something that is made by mind? I'd next like to offer a Bible passage from James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, and I would say, or consciousness, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it shall be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord, or consciousness. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Now, part of that instability comes because the majority are unaware of their essential nature as spirit or consciousness, dreaming an apparently real human experience. I back this up with some of my other videos, including content from one entitled The Nature of Reality, which I'll pin at the end of this video. Now you may be asking, okay, you're claiming that my true nature and yours is consciousness, and that if we know ourselves as that, it will make it easier to experience that which we desire as opposed to that which we don't desire. And that's the truth. Now, if you're asking, how do you do it? I'll give some of these methods. You can visualize. And this is best performed in a very quiet state, a groggy state, perhaps when you're just ready to drift off to sleep at night or before a nap even. And first thing upon rising in the morning. Some people like to script, writing out in present tense their life the way that they desire it now. Why should it be done as though it's now and not then? Because we only experience now. The past and the apparent future are concepts, conceptual only. We can book a flight for the apparent future, let's say 2 weeks out from now. But when the experience of walking down the gangplank to board that plane occurs, it will occur now. Waking state reality occurs now. We can also use affirmations, but it's wise to use these with caution. Perhaps step up your level of performance in gradual steps rather than saying you're barely getting by with finances each week and that you're all of a sudden a billionaire. Now, I'm not saying that's not possible, but make your affirmations believable. I am becoming more wealthy each and every day. Now that the subconscious mind is more likely to accept than a statement that seems outlandish. The main point that I'd like to make in this video is use any technique that feels natural to you, that you enjoy, but perform the technique from the perspective of true self or awareness. So in this regard, it's better to become still first, touch that center of your being in which you know yourself as awareness or consciousness. Live your certainty, faith, and belief from that living center of Christ consciousness within. If you've enjoyed this video or found it helpful or useful, I invite you to share, subscribe, and like. More information is available through my free articles at thinktwice.me and also through my book entitled This Taste of Flesh and Bones, available from Amazon. Thank you very much for watching. I love all of you and wish only the best for all of you. Looking forward to talking with you again soon. Bye for now.